a little too excited.
All right. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:31. Reconvening from closed session. We have our actions taken in closed session read by Trustee Wright.
There was one action taken. On a 7-0 vote, the board approved the extension of an unpaid leave for 1 month with benefits for a classified employee.
Thank you. Next, we have the invocation led by Trustee Wright and Pledge of Allegiance by Trustee Jay.
Our Father who art in heaven, we thank thee for gathering us together in this board meeting. We are thankful for our holiday season at this time. We ask thee to please continue to bless us with the love, protection, and everything that we need so that we too may share these blessings, and in so doing make a difference in the world that we live in. We pray specifically this evening for the families, friends, and everyone who is affected by the tragedies of the 2 recent shootings, one on November the 27th in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where 3 were killed, and the second on December the 2nd, where a couple killed 14 people. We take comfort in the knowledge that during these times people come together to honor and to demonstrate the best that humanity has to offer. We are thankful for the recent rains and continue to pray for additional rain to relieve us from our drought conditions. We are thankful for our students, for our dedicated faculty, administration, and staff. Bless our Board of Trustees, our Chancellor, and all in attendance this evening in the decisions and efforts that we make. We sincerely pray for guidance in His name. Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So next we have our organizational meeting. So we will adjourn the regular meeting temporarily while we call to order the organizational meeting. This is where we do the election of officers. Our current officers, as is probably well known, is I as president, vice president, Trustee Jamal, and clerk, Trustee Wright. So at this point in time, I will entertain a motion for those officer positions.
I'd like to nominate, ready?
Trustee Milchker.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Tim Jamal for President of the Board of Trustees.
I second.
And I have a second. Any discussion? You want the job?
You want to give it up?
Yeah, that's fine. All those in favor, do we do a electronic? Okay. Do it in electronic. All right. Unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, 1 student advisory yes vote. Okay. Next we have vice president.
Thank you.
I guess I'll go ahead and nominate Trustee Jamal for vice president.
I'd love to.
I'm sorry.
That would be
You're
unprecedented.
just going to do all of them. You're going to do all of them. No, Trustee Wright. For
I second
vice
that too.
president. All right. Okay. Trustee Wright, you okay with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you.
With that, we'll go ahead and vote. Unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, 1 student advisory yes vote. All right. Next, a motion for clerk.
Mr. President,
Yes.
so I'd like to nominate Trustee Lang for the office of clerk of the board.
Okay.
I second that.
And I have a second from Trustee Wright. You're okay with that? All right. We'll go ahead and vote on that. Unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, 1 student advisory yes vote. So those are your new officers. Do we pause now or do we do the rest? All right, we'll go ahead and do the rest. So now at this point, we need to go ahead and do an appointment for secretary and assistant secretary of the board The past position, secretary, was held by Chancellor Poertner. Assistant secretary was Vice Chancellor Deborah Fitzsimmons. Okay,
I second
continue
that.
it on. All right. I have a motion and a second. Go ahead and vote on the item. Unanimous yes vote and one student advisory yes vote. Next, we have trustee representatives to various bodies. One is the nominating committee to the Committee on School District Organization. Current representative is myself. The alternate is Trustee Jamal.
Do you want to do it again?
I'm just looking at some of the others. Where's the one that you're on? Yeah, you don't have that, but like the one you're on is not on here. It's interesting. All right, well,
Different.
I don't mind continuing it, but if anybody else wants to do it, I would certainly entertain a motion to nominate someone else or me. Doesn't matter.
I'll do it.
It's okay. So, would anybody like to nominate Trustee Wright?
I nominate Trustee Wright to serve on.
Second that.
What am I nominating him to serve on?
Nominating committee for school district organization.
The nominating committee for school district
Basically,
organization.
you vote for the representatives that we get lists of.
So moved.
All right. And we have a second. So we'll go ahead and vote on that. Yeah, unanimous yes vote, one abstention, student advisory yes vote.
I'll nominate Trustee Prendergast as alternative representative.
As the alternate. Okay, I will do that.
Second.
All right. Go ahead and vote on that. Oh, wait, I guess I have to abstain. Too late. Trustee Jay, we're voting. Okay, that's supposed to be an abstention on mine. Yeah, let's do it again. There we go. Unanimous yes vote, one abstention, one student advisory yes vote. Next, we have the district's political action rep to the Orange County School Board Association. Current representative is Trustee Wright.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Jamal because you already have an office. Or, I'd prefer not to.
Prefer not to.
Okay.
Okay. He's declined the nomination.
I appreciate it.
Trustee Milchiker for political action.
Okay.
Okay. Trustee Milchiker, you, or did you want to stay on?
Somebody else would like to do it. They can.
Because you're already on the legislative task
I'm
force
already on the
normally.
legislative task force. Yeah.
You want to stay on that?
I'd kind of like to stay on that unless somebody else would like to do that. You know.
Were you going to the legislative meeting in January? You usually do.
No, I'm not going to the legislative meeting this January.
You're not?
So, no.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, one of the foundation. Irvine or either one of them.
It's a possibility, but I'm willing to do the
Yeah.
foundations on both colleges.
What's that?
I'm willing to do the foundations on both colleges.
On both?
For the foundations.
We typically split that, but we'll see if anybody else is interested.
I'd like to be in foundation too,
For IVC?
or Saddleback.
Saddleback.
Either one.
All right. But you can hold more than one position.
Yeah, you can hold multiple.
Okay. Cool.
So, all right. So we'll nominate Trustee Witt to District's Political Action Rep. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. We'll go ahead and vote on that. The abstention button's a little yellow one. There we go. All right. All those in favor say yes.
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 Wow. No, it was fine. Unanimous yes vote, one abstention, one student advisory yes vote. All right. So now we have representative to the Orange County Legislative Task Force. Current representative is Marcia Milchiker. Alternate is Dave Lang.
I like it unless somebody else wants to do it,
Okay. Well, would you be able to go to the meeting in January if she's not able to? The one up in Sacramento? Because that's a big part of this position.
I'm going.
I mean, I'm going to the regular meeting, but I'm not going to be I can't stay for the legislative because it goes to Monday.
On Monday, but I'm going for Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Okay. I mean, it's not a requirement, but
Okay.
it's just typically the biggest action of the year on that.
Well,
Okay. Well, I guess we'll entertain a motion for retaining Representative Milchker and alternate Dave Lang.
So moved.
So, and second.
All right. So we're going to vote on both those positions at the same time.
okay.
We have a unanimous yes vote, 2 abstentions, 1 student advisory yes vote. Then we have representatives to the Audit Committee. Current chair is Trustee Lang. Representative 1 is Trustee Jamal. Representative 2 is myself.
So I'm happy to step off the audit committee in light of the vote earlier. So if anyone else is interested in
Somebody else like to do it?
serving on the audit committee, you're in good hands with Trustee Lang as the chair.
Why don't I do this? I'll go ahead and nominate Trustee Lang as the chair. If he's willing to continue serving in that
I'll
route.
serve on.
And then I'll take a second for that.
Second.
Can we
All right.
just slate, or we gotta do one?
No, because then we'd have too many abstentions.
Right.
All right, so we'll go ahead and do a vote on Trustee Lang as chair of the Audit Committee. Need
Someone's not.
Trustee Milchker,
Oh, I did.
Trustee Jay.
Oh, I got it then.
There we go. You have unanimous yes, 1 abstention, 1 student advisory yes vote. And then we have Representative 1
I nominate
Wright
Trustee
had-
Wright. Yeah.
had offered for that. Motion and second for Trustee Wright for that position. We'll go ahead and vote on that. One unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, and 1 student advisory yes vote.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Prendergast as alternative to Representative 2.
I will accept that.
Second.
Go ahead and vote on that. I did it again. Sorry. Not used to staying out of anything. All right, try that again. Unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, 1 student advisory yes vote. All right, next we have representative to the 2 foundations, Saddleback. Currently it's Trustee Padberg, which is obviously needing has a vacancy. Representative to IVC is currently Trustee Jamal.
I'd like to nominate Trustees Witt and Jay.
Okay.
I second that.
Do you guys want to
And let them fight it out.
let you guys figure out which one you want? I know that Trustee Witt had expressed an interest in Saddlebacks. So if you would want to be IVC, that would be great. All right, so we'll vote on that slate. So we'll have 2 abstentions. Okay.
Maybe.
Abstain.
Yeah, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. All right. It's okay. Unanimous yes. She was voting for Terry. Unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, 1 student advisory yes vote. All right. So that's going to be Witt and Jay. Okay.
Oh, that's
Next, we vote on the board meeting calendar. We were provided an advanced copy of dates. So I need a motion to approve
I move
the
approval of the board calendar.
board calendar.
Second it.
A motion from Trustee Milchker, a second from Trustee Jay. Any amendments or changes? We're good now?
Yeah, we're good now.
All right. Go ahead and vote on that item. Unanimous yes vote, 1 student advisory yes vote. Next, we have the establishment of agenda planning calendar.
I second it.
Motion from Trustee Lang, a second from Trustee Jay. Any questions or amendments on the planning calendar? Didn't see any. Go ahead and vote on that item. All right. Unanimous yes vote, 1 student advisory yes vote. Agenda format. We had a recommendation to move resolutions from 2.0 procedural matters to the consent calendar in an effort to streamline meeting formats and allow colleges to recognize people in special events at their sites. And I support that 100%. I think this will be an excellent change.
Looks like we've also pushed back the open session.
Correct. We did a couple trial runs there for a couple months and got used to it, and it seems to work out fairly well, and I think we can do that as well. So I need a motion to, okay, I have a motion from Trustee Lang.
Second.
And a second from Trustee Jamal for the agenda format. Seeing no request to speak, we'll go ahead and vote on the item. Unanimous yes vote, 1 student advisory yes vote. So that concludes the organizational meeting. We will call to order the special meeting of the Facilities Corporation of the South Orange County Community College District. There we elect the officers of that corporation, the Facilities Corporation. The current board of directors is the president, myself at this time, so typically that would become the new president. Then we have the vice president is Trustee Jamal, which would typically become the new vice president. And then the secretary is Trustee Wright, which will now probably become Trustee Lang. And then chief financial officer is Vice Chancellor Fitzsimmons. Assistant secretary is Gary Poertner. And assistant treasurer is Vice Chancellor Fitzsimmons as well. Do I have a motion for those changes?
I second that.
Okay. Seeing no request to speak, we'll go and vote on that item. We have a unanimous yes vote, 1 abstention, and 1 student advisory yes vote. All right. With that, that adjourns the Facilities Corporation meeting. We need to break for about 10 minutes for them to rearrange names and our places on the dais, and then we'll reconvene the meeting with a new lineup. I'm moving.
I think we stay here.
I just have to move one over.
With 3 officers.
Congratulations.
Mine's over there.
Do you have to change all the names around in the
Yeah,
front?
they changed the names up on the
What are the names?
front. Not all of them, just the ones. Nope, I already brought them. Those are the first things I grabbed.
Tim Jamal is the president.
Oh, no, I have it already. I'm just, yeah, I'm good. I'm
It's
just,
a really good idea. If they want to do it, not always will. Gives them a little bit of.
Should we do the picture now with the placards where they are? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just do it now, and then we'll explain.
Should we just stand back here?
Yeah. Oh.
Just stand back here. They want us to
Everyone?
take a picture with you.
Without, wait. Terry, all of us? Or no?
Gary.
With the, yeah. It's really classic. Yeah, bling.
Jim is going to go.
Ravishing. Really?
South Orange County Rams.
So you want us to all stand? Terry, do you want us all to stand? Is that it?
You need us to bunch together?
Is Tim going to go to Jim's seat?
Oh, you're doing the panorama. Kate,
That's right.
Bobby wants a picture taken with her camera.
You can see the line where it's on.
Yeah, but that won't be very good.
We need another camera person.
Mark.
Blake, come on up here.
Mark.
I'll get it. That's a stupid little camera.
Family first.
Okay, thank you. I'll give you my text, my cell phone number.
I think I might have.
Okay, you guys ready? Are you ready? Yeah. Look at Natalie.
Look at Natalie.
We're doing a panorama.
Oh,
Something tells me our political careers are over.
Yeah, they're going to be ruining us for this.
Notice how the president's not wearing his hat.
His bet is the check.
Can they bunch together?
This only can get you all in there. It does look awfully tame.
Do we have to be happy about that?
Fun?
Not really. We have to be happy about it. They go to the bad sports. We lose graciously. They win.
All right, come on, give it up for me. We're going to keep doing it until it gets good. Flowers at the end. Come on, let's have a little fun.
I don't know what we should do. Like pretend we're throwing things up in the air or what?
I'll let Todd decide. There you go.
Decide what?
Which one do we send?
oh, to them? To them? Oh.
Send something to them that makes us look good.
We're in our Christmas.
We should explain why we're wearing this. You know what?
He will.
Okay.
There you go.
Want me to give you my...
Okay, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that.
I took a picture of that, sent it to my son.
Jim is the clerk, and then Jim,
Hey, you can send
and
that
then
one.
Tim,
Hold on.
and then Barbara.
Ham one was better. Oh, I love that one.
Okay, so why not that one? Do you want my phone? I'll give you my cell phone.
Okay, hold on. So we go to...
Yeah.
No, let's wait. We'll do it right now.
Boy, it's been a long time since I've ever been on this side.
This is
It was that one.
Okay.
Okay, Marcia. So
Do you
I'm
want my
almost
cell
I'm
phone?
I already have the book.
Wait a second.
I'm still signing his agreement.
My son.
I got it.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
3952052. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. My son's always sending me text pictures of his baby. She's so cute. She was just 1 year old on Sunday.
Who's this, Marcia?
My son up in L.A. His little daughter. We have 3 boys and then
Check,
2 girls.
check.
Okay, I opened the card.
Oh, the 3. So.
Yeah, I've got the book. So you know what? You just told me. I think I'll give it to my son.
She just turned
Of
1.
course, you're not prejudiced
No,
at all.
her birthday was 1 year birthday was yesterday. She's adorable. I mean, you know.
Oh, by the way,
I don't know. I've never seen such a cute baby. But I'm not prejudiced, right?
No, I mean, you've been just great.
yes, if you don't mind.
She really is cute.
Well, you gotta talk to them first, and then once you like kind of ready, board ready. That's a part you got. Good.
But you know, at 1 year old, they don't talk back or anything. So it's a little easier to really like them, whatever they do.
It's a great job. You're great.
Oh, wonderful.
Excuse me. Actually, surprisingly, Thursday.
Oh, no.
Actually, surprisingly, Thursday. Now he's running.
Here's the one I that's a cool one. Yeah. Oh, how old is he?
Our control ready.
Oh, no. They need to get that temperature down.
If the light goes off,
So anytime, really, basically, touch and go. It's
Oh,
just
no. Where does he live?
if we have a problem, we'll come out.
so it should just stay.
Good hospitals there. Yeah, there's a big enough city where they have good hospitals. Yeah.
Now what about the podium? Podium microphone.
It's so hard to see your first kid.
Really, set my office.
Be next to each other.
No, we can have everybody there. So we're just keeping our fingers crossed. I got covered. Well, they're not just meeting with me.
So everything is similar to.
I might just be there and ask you guys. So they had to operate him.
Oh, wow.
Is that right? And they did believe
Podium.
so. That,
I don't know when.
then they had to put
Just
it.
it just makes it to
Like a shunt or something?
No, what's the thing?
We use that for other things.
and just for your information.
Oh, a pacemaker. Yeah, I know that because I went to my AAUW meeting. And half the people there had pacemakers. Like it's safe for a little baby. Wow. But I mean, the pacemaker. You know, and the batteries last for 2
So
months.
they scheduled
turn off and say,
Oh, yeah, they don't want to do it on a sick kid.
when you're ready for the teeth to roll, you're ready to
Yeah, the more they can get, what do they call them? Nosocomial? Yeah, there's all kinds of.
That's already out.
Well, it'll be off when I go in the back.
Are you relieved not to be president of the
Are we
board?
going to start right away?
Sure, let's start.
Because you have a lot to
Give me
do.
like 1 minute.
Even more than that, hopefully it'll be okay. That's even more important than making it in some sense. You don't want brain damage. I shouldn't say that.
Your wife teaches too.
You know, we're all thinking the
We're
same.
all thinking the same thing. You just don't say it usually. You know? I think of myself as kind of being a doctor myself.
No worries.
And you'll help me if I get
Oh no!
twisted up at some point.
Press around and pull out all those tubes and everything. Yeah,
It's on right now.
So now you're
must be really, really, really hard to
being
see a kid
applying to
like.
colleges and stuff. Are you?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I hope he's okay.
Okay, have she gotten
Well,
anything?
yeah. But then they do wonderful things these days. I mean, it's like incredible. I mean, Ben has. I told you he has stage 4 lung cancer. And he's
Okay, let's reconvene.
doing fine.
Good for her.
So they're doing incredible things.
Trustee Milchiker,
Sorry.
reconvening session. Let's start off with item 3.0, board reports, and I'll start off with my first request as board president to former President, Trustee Prendergast.
All right, thank you. First of all, congratulations to the new executive officers. Hope you enjoy your new positions. Just a real quick explanation of why in the world we're wearing some other colleges' gear and displaying it. One of my last acts as president apparently was accepting a bet that we lost in the state championship game with City College of San Francisco. I will let others report on the game and all of that, but part of the understanding was let's see, how did they put it? The team with less points board had to wear the gear from the team who scored more points. And I accepted the bet, thinking we'd win. But here we are. So please forgive us for the duration of this meeting. Hopefully it won't happen again. I did attend the Feast of Lights. Wonderful performance, as usual. As we say every year, the best one ever. And because it keeps getting better. The nurses pinning was really, really nice event as well. One of my former students was going through, and so it was really neat to see her achieve that and excel and all of that. And she had wonderful things to say about the program. IVC's holiday party, where I in the raffle drawing, won a mystery gift, which will continue to remain a mystery for certain purposes. And then going up to the football game was an excellent way to finish out the season. Regardless of the outcome, those boys achieved a lot. Congratulations to the coach and everyone involved in that program. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Jay.
I want to wish everyone a wonderful holiday season and a happy new year. And I also want to wish special blessings to the families who lost loved ones who were in the terrorist attack in San Bernardino. Our prayers and well wishes are for their families. And then on November the 18th, I attended the Latino American 500 Years of History series. The topic of this was Fight for Equal Rights. The focus was on the period after World War II. We saw clips from the Latino American video, Episode 3, War and Peace. The episode was introduced by Mariana D. Saracho, and then Dr. Gilbert Gonzalez made a presentation about the Mendez versus Westminster case. This was a landmark case in 1947, a federal case that ended in public school desegregation in California. This case originated, thought it was so interesting because it originated right here in Orange County, and it was in Westminster. And then Friday, November the 20th, I attended the Bear Project, which was entitled The Bears Go to College, sponsored by the City of Mission Viejo and also the Angels of the Arts. It took place in front of our Library Learning Resource Center. The theme was Celebrating Our Diversity Through Art. I received a wonderful thank you note from the Angels of the Arts saying, "Your presence validates to our members that the college cares about community partnerships and the arts." After that amazing presentation, which was a lot of fun, I walked down to the McKinney Theater and saw Winter Dance. On December the 2nd, Wednesday, I attended the Orange County Pathways Showcase. The theme was Equipping Students for the Global Innovation Economy. The showcase was held at Hangar 244 in the Great Orange County Park in Irvine. There were dozens of innovation displays from the school, colleges, and businesses, as well as a keynote presentation on the STEM education and an innovation talk from the NASA astronaut Leland Melvin. Orange County Superintendent of Schools sponsored this, put on by Al Maharis, PhD, and Todd Burnett, president of Saddleback College. It was a fascinating event, and thank you. It was great. Sunday, I attended the Feast of Lights, and as always, outstanding, excellent. And if you haven't gone, you should go. It's just great. Then December 7th, I went shopping for 3 adopted families from the IVC program, Adopt a Family for the Holidays. And December 10th, I attended the Wind Ensemble at the Doyle McKinney Theater. It was really good. I just wish the attendance to the Wind Ensemble would be a lot better. December 11th, I delivered the wrapped gifts for the families to IVC. Giving to the IVC Adopt a Family program was really thrilling and a lot of fun.
Thank you, Trustee Jay. Well, I want to thank my fellow trustees for nominating me and voting me into this office. I appreciate it very much. You didn't realize what you just got yourself into. Secondly, I want to thank Trustee Prendergast for his 2-year tenure as president of the Board of Trustees. I think we all agree he did a fantastic job as leader of this board, consummate diplomat, and represented the district very well. There's big shoes to fill. So excellent job. I, too, attended the nurses' pinning ceremony and need not expand further than what Trustee Prendergast said. Another moving and inspirational event. And then finally, I wish we didn't have to wear these red shirts today. A few of us did travel up to San Francisco on Saturday and watched the Saddleback Gauchos compete competitively against a very tough City of San Francisco college team. It is an amazing effort to get as far as they did. Having a son who's playing actually in a state title game this Friday in Sacramento representing Mission Viejo High School, I see firsthand how hard it is to get to these final contests. And Coach Mack and the team played with class. They played hard. I know we're all very proud of them. I was proud of them. It's tough to lose, especially in a title game and you get that far, and the emotions were very raw on Saturday, and we saw that in person. But I think upon reflection, they'll see how proud they are of this effort, and I'm sure we will recognize them in some way, and other jurisdictions will do so as well. Thank you. Trustee Wright.
Thank you very much. I attended a number of events this past month. This has been a busy time. I also wanted to thank T.J. Pendergast for being our president, and also Tim Jamal for being our vice president. I think they did a wonderful job. So I just want to congratulate them and thank them for what they have done. And I thank the board for electing me as vice president. First of all, I start off by attending on December the 2nd. I went to Channel 6 Laguna Woods and was interviewed on TV, and I was able to brag about Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College, about upcoming events, and also talked about our Veterans Days that we have at both colleges, and also about Kara Street winning the award for Outstanding Teacher. I also was able to talk about the Emeritus Institute program and brag about it too. I attended the nurses' pinning ceremony also. I also attended the IVC end of the year celebration on December the 9th, a wonderful event, and I applaud IVC for this event. I also attended a Feast of Lights, always a good presentation. Then on Thursday, December the 10th, I attended the IVC Symphony Orchestra. It's the first time I've had that opportunity to do, and they did a wonderful job. And it was just good. They played Christmas music, and they also played other music, but it was outstanding. We all drove to John Wayne Airport on Saturday. The 3 of us did, and went to see the game. It was a good game. We'd had one more quarter. I think we'd have won, but we didn't get that extra quarter. But our team had a fabulous year. They won 10 straight games, and that's a wonderful accomplishment. And then the last thing that I want to comment on is that we just toured the new Sciences building at Saddleback College, and it is magnificent. It's going to be a great access. This building will be done in March, and then we'll get a chance to move in this summer and start classes this fall in the new Sciences building, and it is a wonderful building. And thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Lang.
Thank you. I also attended a number of different events, many of which you've heard about already. I particularly love the nurses pinning ceremony. Attended it. Was glad to see, really almost a full board there. That really features our stellar nurses program. And it's just really a proud moment, I think, for all of us here. Trustee Jay mentioned the OC Pathways Showcase. Again, managed to see Trustee Jay and both of our college presidents there. And my congratulations to President Burnett for doing a great job as a co-MC of that. And the remarks by Leland Melvin were really terrific, very, very motivating. I wanted to extend and add my congratulations to our 2015 District Services Managers of the Year, Kim McCord, Jim Faniff, and Jim Laurie for the well-deserved recognition to all of you for your tremendous efforts on behalf of our district. And then I really just wanted to offer my sincere wishes to all of our students and to really everybody associated with our district for a very safe and healthy holiday season and a fulfilling new year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Milchiker.
And I'm going to echo some of the things that my fellow trustees have said, but try not to say the same thing that they said. I thank T.J. Prendergrass and for being a wonderful president for the last 2 years, and the old board, the former officers of the board, and I congratulate the new officers of the board on winning the election, and know you'll do a fabulous job running our board meetings. I'll mention a few of the things I attended, and then I'd like to mention a few of the classes I've been attending. I attended the Saddleback College Feast of Lights, the Saddleback College Nurse Pinning Ceremony, the IVC Holiday Party, and Tammy Rice's retirement party at the Tivoli Terrace in Laguna Beach. She was the director of nursing at Saddleback College, and our own Diane Pestalacci is going to be taking over her job after Tammy retires. I need to mention some of the classes I've been taking this semester. One of them in particular, it's a class at Irvine Valley College, and it's called Physiological Psychology. And it's on the neuroanatomy and function of the brain and central nervous system. I don't think they had classes like this when I went to college, because maybe they didn't have brains when I went to college. But that was a joke. But this... But this was an incredible class. I've taken a lot of physiology classes and a lot of histology classes, and I've got my master's degree in biology, but I have never taken a neuroanatomy class. And it really is a good idea to learn about neuroanatomy. And this is taught by a new young professor named Benjamin Miss, and he's a first-year tenure-track professor at Irvine Valley College. And the students, there are about 40 students in there, and they were just captivated by learning about the brain. They gave presentations, dissected a sheep's brain, and someone that's a lifelong learner like me gets wonderful, gets all the best neurotransmitters going in my brain and the hormones going in my body. And I get very happy when I'm taking classes and learning about new and exciting things. And the students did also. And you could see why a neuroanatomy class is important for students in psychology to really understand the function and the structure of the brain. And the brain controls our whole body, all our learning, all our memory, everything we do. And it's important, I think, possibly even for learning about pedagogy, and learning to help you in teaching and learning if you really fully understand the brain function. So I recommend this class. I also took another art class at Saddleback College that was excellent also, taught by Pam Turner. So that's, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone back at in-service next semester. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Witt.
Thank you. I'm going to be real short because everybody explained everything that I attended. I want to say the history of, Latino Night was very, very interesting. It was in this room. And I really enjoyed learning history in my own backyard, our backyard. So it was, it really made an impression on me. The Feast of Lights were just awesome, and I thank Todd Burnett for really pushing me because I gave a wedding the day before. And it was worth it. It was so worth it. And if you haven't gone, please go. You will say the same. I attended the nursing pinning ceremony, having been with the nursing program for more than 36 years. Some of you aren't even that old. And it was wonderful again. It absolutely is moving to hear what the students say. I really go for that and how they commend their families and friends for getting them to the position where they are. So if you're bored one night, just go to a pinning ceremony. You'll really be inspired. And I'd like to wish all of you a wonderful holiday and an awesome new year, and hope it's the best year you ever have. And I look forward to working with the board. This will be my real year to start. And I want to thank all of you for helping me. I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Student Trustee Momond.
I want to start off by congratulating all the members of the board that were just recently elected to their new positions. This last month has been quite a busy month for me and the rest of the students. Finals coming up. Everyone's kind of just rushing to prepare. So with that in mind, I wasn't able to attend as many events as I would like to. The ones that I were able to attend were where we took a tour of the new building, which was magnificent. Mm-hmm. Really nice building. It's the stuff that you see on UC campuses and stuff like that. And other than that, I got to have a really closer collaboration with both of the student governments this month. I was able to attend a meeting with at ASIVC with President Glenn Rockmore was there. Him and his cabinet were meeting with the student government, and it was really nice to see such a close collaboration between the school's administration and their student government. He gave some really inspirational words to the rest of the students. And at Saddleback, I got to see some really wonderful ideas being put out by the student government. They actually told me that they wanted me to mention they have this new idea where they want to add water bottle refill stations to their water fountains. And I've seen this on other campuses, and it's immensely popular at other campuses. And they're going to be presenting this at Consultation Council soon, and I can't wait to see what happens with that. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Can I ask a
point of personal privilege?
Absolutely granted.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Trustee Momond for his dedication, but I really think you should be going home and studying for your final tomorrow, and I think we're all okay with that.
Did I get like an early dismissal?
That's where. You want me to write you a note? Anybody else have an objection to that?
Not objection.
Have a nice night.
All right, I'll accept that. Thank you.
Thank you. Grace, I didn't ask, was there any requests for public comment? No. Thank you. Chancellor's report.
I have, first of all, two awards of appreciation. Two for Trustee Pendergast. Number one, a plaque in recognition of this past year as president of the board. And two, he is getting his first service pin from the district for 5 years.
Old man.
Okay, now not to shame TJ at all, but I also have another pin, and that's in recognition of Trustee Marcia Milchiker for 30 years.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Now I know how to keep my brain healthy throughout all as I continue in this job as a trustee. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Healthy brain.
Healthy brain. Healthy brain, healthy body, right? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Only other comment I'd make is I'd like to, number one, thank everyone, particularly our faculty, for the last semester of work and everything that you do to help our students. And I'd also like to wish everybody a happy holiday season. And we'll see those that leave coming back again in January. Bye.
Thank you. College presidents reports. Who's going first? IBC.
Go ahead. Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations to the new leadership. Look forward to working with you in that status. Todd and I are going to try something different tonight, and I need to move really fast on this. We're going to give you a 4-minute report between us on the ACCJC situation.
Oh, great.
My part is to talk a little bit about the history, and from a CEO perspective, there are many different perspectives on this issue, but this is from our own experiences. The way we see the issue is it began a number of years ago having to do with the implementation of a 2-year rule that was given by the Department of Education, and that meant that any recommendation that was pulled forward for 2 years would almost lead to a sanction automatically. Well, that then started to begin to put a lot of colleges on sanctions because that was not the way they were normally used to doing it. It was more do your best and show progress, but not the abrupt 2 years, then you have a sanction. So because of that, Chancellor Jack Scott was the first one to raise the flag on the issue, and that was about 4 years ago. And at a CEO meeting, he had Barbara Bino and Steve Kinsella, who was one of the commissioners there, to answer questions. And so there was a number of things about different outlined issues on training and transparency and expectations. And they had very good answers and began to work away on this. Then Chancellor Bryce Harris was hit with the City College of San Francisco issue. I apologize, you're in such bad accreditation issues here. But at that time, then there was another CEO meeting, and Barbara Bino was there, and this time Chancellor Raul Rodriguez to answer questions. And the CEOs felt that there was a lot of progress that had taken place. And so as my time is running out, that thing really runs fast. As we looked into this...
We're being lenient tonight.
Yeah. Things began to worsen, and particularly around the city of San Francisco. A lot of questions about how the commission was doing work. And Bryce had commissioned a team to write a report. And at least from the CEO's perspective, he did not loop back with the CEOs and really inform us what was going on. It hit the streets. The press picked it up in a big way. And, of course, you've been reading all about that. And it looked like they were ready to throw the ACCJC out and replace it with something else. Passing it on to Todd here quickly, he attended a meeting that I was not able to attend and has an update on where we are today.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Yes, on November 19th at the annual Community College League of California's conference, they had also an annual CEO meeting. And at that CEO meeting, it's chancellors, superintendent presidents, and presidents. And Bryce Harris gave an update to all of us on accreditation. He went up there and said, like Glenn just said, gave a little history that it's all started back with Jack Scott. And when Jack Scott actually came forward with his recommendations to the ACCJC, where was all the other colleges? Where was all the outcry about ACCJC? And there wasn't much. So he was kind of left out there himself to try to push changes through the commission. Then, of course, city college issues happened. And what Bryce wanted to say was he wanted to say it was unfortunate that we have all been working on these issues and looking for the commission to change for many, many years, and that it's got a lot of attention and maybe even out of control with the city college issues. With that said, one of the things he said that was unfortunate is that the press and maybe some constituencies around the state emphasized so strongly and seemed to think that what the task force recommendations and what the Chancellor, the State Board of Governors wanted was to actually leave and replace the ACJC, probably go to WASC, the senior accreditor. What Bryce said was that's not the truth. That is not what is their preference. For starters, it takes, he said, roughly 10 years to do a transition into a new accrediting agency. Well, you can all imagine in what work it would take to do that, a lot. The second is that the Department of Education is actually putting more stringent oversight on the accreditors around the country, asking them to be more like actually ACCJC. So the thought of actually going to WASC or any other accrediting agency may not be much different than what's happening right now. With that said, real quick, because I only have 5 seconds now, is that he wanted to ask, there were about 60-plus CEOs there, and for the first time ever, asked for our input. In fact, we all voted. We had our phones, voted by phone on the questions. And the first question he asked all the CEOs was, the Board of Governors has endorsed the Accreditation Task Force report charging the Chancellor to investigate new models of accreditation for California's community colleges. Which of the following approaches do you prefer? We had 3 choices to vote on. First was staying with the Accrediting Commission with minor structural changes. Second, staying with ACCJC with a significant change in leadership. And third, migrating to the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, WASC. Well, 25% of the CEOs said they would prefer to stay with the ACCJC with minor structural changes. 50% of the CEOs said they wanted to stay with the ACCJC with a significant change in leadership. And only 25% said, let's migrate to WASC. So 75% of the CEOs in attendance said they wanted to stay with the ACCJC. The second question they wanted to ask, what are some of the ideal attributes for an accreditor? I won't go through all of them, but the top 3 that came up were that we want the accrediting agency to demonstrate and maintain consistency with federal accreditation mandates and regional accreditor peers, provide quality training to commissioners, visiting team members, and member institutions that are inclusive of all groups involved in the accreditation process, in particular faculty, by the way. And then the third was member institutions have a formal process for periodic evaluation of the creditor. Anyway, we wanted to give you a quick update so you have a better context of what is happening statewide with the ACCJC and accreditation from our leaders up in Sacramento. So thank you for giving us extra time.
You're welcome. Thank you for your report. Next up is Associated Student Government reports, and I assume they're studying, and I see that they're absent. So we'll move forward with board requests for reports. Does anyone have a board request?
There is one.
Oh.
There's one.
And I'll move approval.
I second.
Motion by Trustee Lang and second by Trustee Wright to approve Trustee Witt's request for a report. The board request for report is regarding an active shooter preparations and training at Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College. We have a motion and a second.
So move.
No, it's been moved.
Oh, it's been moved in second. Okay.
Go ahead and cast your vote.
Okay.
Unanimous yes vote. Student advisory abstention. Motion carries.
Thank you.
The student trustee was absent, did not abstain. Okay, next up we have 5.0 consent calendar items. Do we have any polls?
I'd like to pull item 5.1 and 5.10.
Okay. Any other polls? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the remainder of the items.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Lang, second by Trustee Prendergast. Prendergast, go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Student advisory absent. Motion carries. Trustee Wright, you want to speak on
Yes,
5.1?
on 5.1, it's a very small change. There's just a small correction in the minutes. Item 6.7, I abstained from that, and I just wanted to make mention of that. Otherwise, I approve it.
Accept the change and move approval.
Second that.
We have a motion by Trustee Lang to accept the changes and a second by Trustee Milchiker. And a request to speak by Trustee Prendergast.
Just for a point of clarification, it still is a 7-0 vote because an abstention counts as a yes vote in our bylaws.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. So we have a motion and a second to make the changes on the minutes suggested by Trustee Wright. Please go ahead and cast your vote. So we have a unanimous yes vote. Motion carries. Next up is item 6.0, general action items.
5.7.
Sorry, Jim.
5.10.
Trustee Wright, 5.10.
Yes, this was just a contract. It was a bid for a biotechnology equipment, and I noticed that they said there were two bids, but one bid was incomplete. Why didn't we go ahead and ask them to complete the bid? Was there a reason for that?
Executive Director Brandy Delana will speak on this.
Yeah, that was.
Hi
This
there.
is for equipment.
Yes. When we have a public bid that's been advertised and then submitted to us in a sealed envelope, it's necessary that the information be complete or then it needs to be rejected per public contract code requirements.
Okay, so that's procedure.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead and move 5.10.
Trustee Lang. Is there a second on the item? Seconded by Trustee Prendergast. Trustee Lang.
Yes. I had also questioned this item in advance, and the concern that I had was pretty much the same as Trustee Wright's, and that was that this wound up being a sole source bid, which obviously always concerns me. But the other thing that I noticed when I went through the item is this is really a collaborative project that involves not only Irvine Valley College, but I guess 3 other community colleges as well. And so obviously they must be getting their equipment from someplace else. And I think in the future we want to look at that, and also whether there's might be any advantage to buying through a consortium rather than doing it on our own. So I don't know if you want to speak to that or not, Brandy, but.
I did. After we spoke this afternoon, I did have an opportunity to talk with the person who's running this program, and your question specifically was, would we have achieved a savings if we had joined the other colleges? The price that was provided to us was what was called a bundled price, and so we were able to acquire the savings that you were curious about.
Okay. Terrific. Okay, thank you.
Good.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for item 5.10.
I so moved.
I think we've already had a motion and a second. Go ahead and cast your vote. Motion carries. Unanimous yes vote. Item 6.0, general action item, approval of district-wide strategic plan. Do we have a presentation to be made?
Yes, we do. We have our 3 researchers that are coming over to the podium. We have Denise Inseong, District Director of Research and Planning, Craig Hayward, IDC Director of Research and Planning, and Nicole Ortega, Saddleback's Research and Planning Director.
Good evening. I'm Denise Enciong, as Gary introduced us. Typically, over the last few years, you've seen me by myself presenting an update to the annual progress report for the strategic plan. We have a new plan that we're presenting to you tonight, and we have a new process with shared goals and objectives and metrics. So that's why we're all up here tonight presenting, and we'll transition well, so we're not going to take up too much time. So I go forward. On our last plan, we completed that plan in 2014. Before it ended, we knew we needed a new model. That district-wide plan was created after the college's plan back then, because we had a lot of recommendations from accreditation. This new model has more integration and coordination district-wide between district services and the colleges. To that end, we conducted an external scan, developed shared goals, objectives, and metrics, in addition to action steps at each location to fulfill the plan. Tonight, our goal is to present to you with a high-level summary of the plan and also the processes and supporting manual for your approval. We started with an external scan. We needed to conduct research to understand our priorities. So as you see, we concentrated on 5 major areas: enrollment projections, labor market analysis, student success, all the initiatives and policies on accountability, budget and economy, and technology. The district-wide strategic plan that you're seeing tonight goes from 14 to 20. It's a 6-year plan, and it's considered a short-term plan compared to our Education and Facilities Master Plan, which is a 20-year plan. The plan was developed through the leadership of the District-Wide Planning Council, which is co-chaired with myself and the Chancellor. In addition, we have a district-wide strategic planning task force, and that task force meets more regularly throughout the year, and they are charged with looking at all of the priorities and activities and spent many, many hours over the last 2 years developing our shared process. In the end, we had broad-based agreement on 4 goals, 13 objectives in the summer of 2014. And we are operating on those goals and objectives. And if you're wondering, we're already in 2015. So we had those objectives and goals established. The colleges were using them as priorities. However, we didn't have agreement on the metrics, how to measure. And we really wanted to have that shared across district services and the colleges. So we worked collaboratively on developing these shared metrics last year and achieved final consensus by the council in the summer of 15. And then we put it together, and that's what we've prepared for you tonight. So again, we had lots of discussion, and the plan is designed to be inclusive and attempted to encompass the priorities district-wide. At the same time, we also look for flexibility. We knew in our last plan we had action steps that were across the campus that were hard to coordinate. So if we had additional priorities that didn't seem district-wide in nature, we allowed the colleges or district services to have those in their own plans. But we really wanted to have a shared set of priorities to lead us in the same direction. Additionally, as I mentioned, the action steps are managed at the local level. So it's not at the district trying to manage across the whole district, but areas of responsibility are outlined in the action plan. And just as a note, I think you have all 3 pieces. You have the plan, which is in blue, the manual in purple, and then the action steps are in blue. So now we're going to transition, and Dr. Craig Hayward is going to lead you through the first pieces of our plan.
Thank you, Denise. Good evening, Board. Craig Hayward, Director of Research Planning and Accreditation at Irvine Valley College, and I'm going to talk with you about our integrated district-wide strategic plan, 2014 to 2020. As all good strategic plans do, the strategic plan starts with our mission and our vision and our values, which are on the screen in front of you and are probably quite familiar. We do have some changes to the mission to note. The District-Wide Planning Council at its June 2015 retreat, did make some changes to the mission as part of the annual review process. The primary driver for the change was the inclusion of information about the specific certificates and degrees that are offered in the district, as is required now as part of the new accreditation standards. The goal one, the goal of improving the climate for district employees and students, was also present in the last district-wide strategic plan. It was an important enough goal to be carried forward into the current plan. Only rather than being phrased in the terms of what we wish to avoid, now you'll see it phrased in the terms of what we wish to move toward innovation, creativity, collaboration, and respect. A welcome new component of this goal is also an emphasis on professional development district-wide. As you most likely remember, our strategic objectives are intended to be measurable. They must be measurable. That's a very key aspect of how we do strategic planning. And in this case, we are measuring the 5 objectives that comprise Goal 1 with our district-wide climate survey and with professional development surveys. Goal 2 is all about student success. The primary focus is on improving completion rates with a secondary focus on increasing student engagement as a way towards increasing student success. Goal 2 also has an objective that addresses professional development that's focused on cultivating our capacity to increase student success. We're measuring completion using the familiar scorecard completion metric. Importantly, we're bringing in a leading indicator, and this is in advance in this metric, the 3-year scorecard completion rate. So this will enable us to see where the official 6-year rate is going well before we get there, so that we can understand how that rate is trending and hopefully take action to improve it, and also provide more timely feedback on the success of the efforts that we are undergoing to advance this objective. In our action steps. And a final note on this goal is that we will be rolling out the Community College Survey of Student Engagement, nationally known as the CESI, in spring 2016, and that is going to be the metric or the KPI for how we measure student engagement. Goal 3 addresses economic and workforce development, as well as relationships with our business partners. Saddleback and IVC also, as Denise noted, have college-specific objectives under Goal 3. They're not listed here in the integrated district-wide plan. They're in the college-specific iterations of the plan. Those objectives aim to further develop workforce training, business partnerships, and internship opportunities. And now I will be transitioning to Dr. Ortega for Goal 4.
Thank you. Goal 4 focuses on institutional effectiveness, specifically financial health and efficiencies through planning. We continue to focus on monitoring and improving planning and resource allocation. With the implementation of Workday, we continue to evaluate how our business processes are functioning. We will continue to monitor the new technology to measure effectiveness and efficiency. Lastly, we focus on developing a multi-year financial model to be used in the major budgeting and resource allocation committees. To round out the plan, the colleges and district services took back the shared goals and objectives and identified how we would strategize to fulfilling the plan. We spent 2014 and 2015 prioritizing and organizing these action steps within our respective areas. IVC used their strategic planning and accreditation council to identify current projects that could address the plan's objectives. Where there were no existing projects that fit, new projects were developed and included as action steps in the college's strategic plan. Saddleback College used their strategic planning groups to establish action steps, and district services used their departmental administrative unit reviews and aligned the unit's activities to district-wide objectives. You're able to see all the details of the action steps in your agenda packet in attachment C. For multi-college districts, the accreditation standards recommend that district-wide planning and evaluation is integrated with college planning and evaluation. To that end, a major document to support the integration is our district-wide planning and decision-making manual. This manual was first created in 2011 and underwent major revisions last year. As outlined in the slide, these are the major components in the manual. The major revisions to the manual included clarification and confirmation of our definition of district. We revisited our decision-making philosophy and clarified the definition of consensus. And we updated the integrated planning process and use of common planning terminology. I will now pass it back to Denise and Xiang. So I'm rounding out the end of this presentation. It really was a collaborative effort. The documentations are pretty thick. Planning is a lot of effort. So we just really wanted to thank, on behalf of myself, the Chancellor, and the directors, the Council, the Strategic Planning Task Force, and everybody who it was district-wide. We asked for feedback iteratively and really wanted to get a shared vision. So I want to thank you and take your questions.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Trustee Lang.
Yes, I noticed that driving the key performance indicators were a series of, I think, about at least 4 different surveys that we were talking about. And I think the weakness involved with doing surveys is what kind of participation rate that you're going to get. I'm just wondering whether that's been a problem for us in the past, and how we might seek to get better participation that would give us perhaps more accurate results.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We are very cognizant of survey fatigue, that we ask a lot of surveys. And so in that effort, we're trying to alternate years. The climate surveys every other year. We're trying to, in our last iteration of the climate survey, we asked a lot of the shared governance groups, chancellors and the presidents to do an active communication effort. But we really know the feelings of survey fatigue. In the SESI survey, and Craig can speak to this as well, it's a national survey that actually is hard copied for students. So that's a different methodology, but again, we need a lot of buy-in from faculty. So we need a communication plan for participation. But yeah, we do recognize the difficulty.
Absolutely agree with everything Denise said. The SESI, it's a good point, is going to be administered in the classroom, which is going to create a much higher response rate. So we'll get really great response rates with that methodology. It's extremely labor intensive, but that's the trade-off. The other surveys, it's not unusual to see 50% response rates from particular employee groups. When you look across different employee groups, for instance, adjunct faculty tend not to participate at such a high rate as full-time faculty, things like that. But we get pretty good response rates. We think the information's valid.
Okay. Trustee Prendergast.
Yeah, I just want to thank you so much for a nice, concise presentation, a lot of good information. Great to see that, you guys are all working together on this. Some of the targets you list as establishing baseline. So just maybe speak a little bit to the timeline or the regularity of which you're going to be reassessing those targets, and will we be getting this report every year and something along those lines?
Yes, absolutely. Some of them are new surveys or new metrics, so we're establishing that. But we are planning to come back every year with an annual progress report and focus on the baseline that we established and the targets that we reached. I'm trying to think, is there anything we want to... Oh, the score. That's more question. Yeah. The one metric that we have data, and we're actually also disaggregating by college, is the Student Success Scorecard and all the transfer, completion, certificate, degree rates. And then we'll bring that also back to you and maybe kind of coordinate that with that presentation as well.
So my assumption is that in those future presentations, we'll see some sort of a comparison to what it was to what
Yes.
it is now.
Right.
So we can kind of.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you. I move to approve the
Motion. Thank you very much for your presentation. Motion to approve item 6.1 by Trustee Prendergast. A second by, I think we have a second by Trustee Wright. Yes. Go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Item 6.1 carries. 6.2, Saddleback College BGS Fire Repairs Project Notice of Completion.
No changes.
No. Motion by Trustee Lang and a second by Trustee Milchiker to approve the item. Please cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Motion carries. Item 6.3, Saddleback College Exterior Lighting and Controls Retrofit Phase 1 Notice of Completion. Motion by Trustee Lang and a second by Trustee Wright. Go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Item carries. 6.4, Board Policy Revision. Motion by Trustee Prendergast and a second by Trustee Jay. Go ahead and cast your... excuse me. Request to speak. Trustee Prendergast.
Yeah, I noticed in the item the second board policy on drug-free environment and drug prevention, I believe, lists for review only, but yet it's in the for approval stack. So I don't know if that's a typo or if it's in the wrong spot, but
No.
not sure
so
what that was.
That notation at the so we're talking about BP 4016, which is called Drug-Free Environment and Drug Prevention Program. At
Right.
the bottom, if there's a revision where you see a red line, then it'll have a revised date. If there's no revision, that means we reviewed it. We're recommending it to move forward as a new date on here to show that we did it, but there's no recommended changes to the BP this time.
Okay.
So it's sort of a cycle that we go through to make sure they all have updated years, and you have a chance to look at them as a board as well, not
Even
just
though
the Board Policy and Administrative Regulation Committee.
Even though it did have a cross out on personnel and change in human resources?
That wasn't considered.
It's not
change to the
it's
actual
not
text.
a intentional change. It's a
Yes.
got it.
You are.
All right.
But that was a good question. Thank you.
Hearing no other requests to speak, we have a motion and a second. Go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Item passes. Item 6.5, Board Policy Revision.
So moved.
It's a review and study.
We have a motion by Trustee Wright and looks like Trustee Lang got it in the second. Any requests to speak? Seeing none, please cast your vote. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a motion to accept for review and study. Unanimous yes vote. Item carries. Item 6.6, full-time faculty hiring amendment, Saddleback College. Motion by Trustee Lang. Second by Trustee Milchiker. Second by Trustee Witt, and a request to speak by Trustee Wright.
Just a question. I was noticing here it says the status. It says with board approval, these two positions will be authorized for recruitment through academic year 2017-18.
Yes.
But I thought we probably would hire them 2016 through 2017.
This recruitment will take place this year, but in the event that we don't fill the position, the board is authorizing us, if you vote on this in affirmative action, to let us recruit the following year as well.
Okay.
Hearing no other requests to speak, we have a motion and a second. Please go ahead and cast your vote. Have a unanimous yes vote. Motion carries. Item 6.7, employment agreement for Chancellor Gary Poertner.
I so move.
Who moved it?
Second.
Marcia?
Yeah, second, yeah.
Motion by Trustee Milchiker, a second by Trustee Prendergast. Seeing no request to speak, go ahead and cast your vote. Motion carries. Congratulations. Item 6.8, adjustment to the integrated salary schedule for district administrators and managers. Approve revisions to this schedule. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Wright, second by Trustee Witt. Seeing no request to speak, go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Item carries. 6.9, academic personnel actions.
No changes.
Changes?
Approval.
Motion by Trustee Lang,
I'll second.
second by Trustee Milchiker. Seeing no request to speak, go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Motion carries. 6.10, classified personnel actions.
No changes.
No changes? Motion by Trustee
Second
Lang,
that. Second that also.
second by Trustee Milchiker. Go ahead and cast your vote. Unanimous yes vote. Item carries. 7.0, reports. We have, who's first?
It's just the list.
Oh.
I'm 8.0.
That's 8.0.
Oh, excuse me. I moved ahead.
I can give it now, though.
No. My bad. So we're at 7.0? 7.1?
7.1.
Listing of board requested reports. Status of board requested reports from the South Orange County Community Colleges District Board of Trustees. Do I ask for comments? Seeing none. 7.2, Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College speakers.
Just information.
7.3, basic aid report.
Information.
There's no changes from last month.
Okay. 7.4, monthly financial request to speak. Trustee Prendergast on 7.3.
I've been noticing there's some projects that have been approved as far back as 2007. There seems to be a tail off on how, like, some of them, like, a lot was spent early on when the approval was made, but then they've kind of tailed off and they're not really being used. Is there a rollout time on some of these that you can speak to?
Yes. So some of the money gets allocated. In some cases, we build up a fund, for instance, for a local match for a state-funded project, for instance. That's one example. In addition, it takes a little while to go out, design, construct a building, and there's a lot of closed activities that take place. So sometimes it's a year or two after the project is done, completed, building's occupied, but we're closing out, doing punch lists and finishing it up, getting all the paperwork in, especially if it's a state-funded project. So we have a 5-year limit that's in our BPNAR 3110 regarding basic aid funds, that then it goes back to the basic aid pot. So we annually, as you know, once a year we close those out, and you'll see a change in the basic aid report where we list the closed out projects on an annual basis, and then you'll see them as a lump sum line item from previous projects from before. So we do that on a regular basis with our capital improvement committee.
Okay, so I guess that's where, because I was aware of the 5-year limit, so that's why I'm seeing things from 2007. I teach social science, not math, but...
And that one, that's a label on, like I'm looking at a ATEP demo, for instance. We use the same fund and combined funds as we got new monies.
So it might help if we
yeah, so that might be a little bit rephrasing on that one, for instance.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, 7.4, monthly financial status report. Any changes? No. 7.5, facilities plan status report. No changes. And 7.6, Retiree OPEB Trust Fund. Very good. Okay. Now, I really wanted to get to you. Saddleback College Academic Senate.
No report. Happy holidays.
That's one of the best reports of the night. Faculty Association.
Hi. This is going to be a quick one, too. I just want to congratulate everybody on your new positions and hope you all have a nice holiday. And I'm off to grade. Thank you.
Thank you. IVC Academic Senate. Okay, it doesn't say that, but okay. CSEA, Scott Green.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations on all the new positions on the board, and we know that it's going to be another fine year. Just one CSEA item. We've also gone through the nominating process, and I will be the president for 2016. I wanted to make one note. I know that the Community College of San Francisco has won the state title. However, on Thanksgiving night, NBC had a national football game that went coast to coast. And I want to acknowledge Kyle Long, former Saddleback student, who is not only playing for the Chicago Bears right now, but he's also an all-star. He's a Pro Bowler. And so when the game first begins, each unit, they go through each player to introduce themselves. And Kyle Long said, Kyle Long, Saddleback College. Yay. So I very much enjoyed that he acknowledged Saddleback College, that the whole nation got to hear that. So a lot of props to Kyle Long for doing that. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going back now. The Vice Chancellor of IT.
No report. Happy holidays.
Excellent. Vice Chancellor Begay.
Congratulations to all the board members on your new positions as officers. HR is in the middle of final preparations for faculty recruitment coming January. And there is a group of people in society who are always neglected this time of year. Those are the people whose birthdays fall in the month of December. And tonight we have one by the name of Blake Stevens. His birthday falls on tonight. I just think it'd be appropriate if you would join me in singing happy birthday to Blake. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Blake. Happy birthday to you. Thank you.
I'm verklempt. Thank you.
Vice Chancellor, congratulations on your birthday, I suppose. Vice Chancellor of Business Services.
Yes, I just wanted to recognize the 3 recipients of the District Administrative Manager of the Year Award. And all 3, Kim McCord, Jim Faniff, and Jim Laurie, did just such a phenomenal job as team leaders of that project. We're talking 2 years of not just doing their regular job, but working on that project, which had required a lot of working together with each other, because this is an integrated system. And this project wasn't just technology, it was a change management project. And that takes a lot of effort to work through all the discussions and looking through the pros and cons of things as you're making changes to processes to make them more user-friendly for the entire district, and to make sure that all the checks and balances are there as well. So I just have to really commend them for that. They're not done, as you know. There's still a lot of work to be done, but they've done a tremendous job, and it took a lot of work, a lot of nights working overtime, and a lot of weekends, and a lot of not taking breaks, and being dedicated to that project nonstop. So I just want to say kudos to them. Thank you.
Thank you. And bringing up the cleanup, Saddleback College Classified Senate. We did serpentine tonight.
It's good. I'm still last, though. That's right. I'd like to close the meeting out. First off, I'd just like to apologize for having this seat be vacant last meeting. It wasn't my intention to not have a representative here for Saddleback College Classified Senate. It was unfortunate that it was, so apologies for that. So for Classified Senate, as we are ending out the semester and doing finals and closing out books and on all that. We were incredibly busy still on campus. But we still had time to have a classified staff appreciation barbecue last month where we had a meeting out in the quad and grilled up some hot dogs and hamburgers and had a chance to get with classified that normally wouldn't come out for a classified meeting, so that was nice. Also, last month I would have reported on our wonderful Vets Basket program for Thanksgiving, the annual donations that we support our vets through food donations and money donations. It was amazing to see the generosity that was being given to our student vets, and we were able to help 61 families with food and gift cards to local supermarkets so that they can provide a meal for themselves and their families as well. And that was amazing. So thank you for everyone that participated and helped. I really appreciate that. And to our classified staff who stepped up and volunteered their time to help with that as well. And then the last is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you.
Me too.
Thank you very much. So tonight, we adjourn our meeting in memory of Irvine Valley College student Kokona Ando, an international student from Japan who passed away from injuries sustained in a car accident. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family, friends, and fellow students. I want everyone to have a safe, happy, and healthy holiday break. We're adjourned.
Thank you.